Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome back to the NOFO Live podcast. We're right, Sunitha, along with my co-host Tracy. We hop on every Friday and talk about everything North Fork. The North Fork is experiencing its winter season right now, and both Tracy and I are doing so many fun things to sort of enjoy this cold. Today's gray and rainy season. I don't know if you guys caught our posts, or there's a lot of coverage about the North Fork polar bear plunge that was last weekend. It was so incredible, such a wonderful community event. I think there were about 500 people that showed up and made cold waters. There was actual ice in the waters. And the reason, obviously the polar bears do this every day or every season, but the reason we gathered that weekend was for fundraising. And it was so wonderful to see how many challenged themselves to go into the water, right, Tracy? What was your thoughts?
It was so festive and fun, and really, we've talked about this before. You know, my first experience with it was kind of like I was very scared. I ran in screaming, ran out. This felt like there was a lot more people who knew what they were doing, which was, I think, also kind of raised the bar a little bit. So it was really enjoyable event.
Well, and that's why I always advocate for the group plunges, because there is something about the group dynamic that brings this calm and zen and a much different experience than the it's cold, I'm running in and running out experience,
Yeah.
And it was a great community event. And we are going to continue talking about community events because the Southold WinterFest is coming up.
Yay.
Well, welcome, Jen. How are you?
Thank you for having me on the show.
Are you back from vacation? Because I know you were gone.
Yes, but it wasn't so warm and sunny. Yes, in Florida. But I'm back, and we're ready, and we're busy as ever getting ready for this coming weekend. Next weekend.
So is this the fourth year you guys are doing this?
Yes, this is our fourth annual for the Southold WinterFest.
Okay.
It's spearheaded by the Economics Development Committee of the town of Southold, and it's really kind of run by the community. It's supported by the community, and we couldn't do it without all of the wonderful sponsors and businesses that really roll up their sleeves and get involved and put some money and time and participation behind the event.
What would you say is the mission of this event? Why did you guys start this?
The mission really was just to have a big community fun event. It was to kind of make a drab February a little bit more fun and cheerful. It was to really get everybody out of their houses and to fill the streets again. You know, we're really strong with tourism and entertainment in the summer and the fall, but in the winter, you all know, we get a little bit quiet out here. So it was really to drum up some business, bring in some people to our local, hopefully breakfasts, and to our restaurants, and of course our shops.
If you could cue the snow again this year, that would be...
Wait, the snowflakes, the light snowflakes, not snow.
It was straight out of a Hallmark movie. I felt like it just felt so quaint, and so as a local, I was like, I love living here. This is so amazing.
I know, the snow couldn't have been any better. The funny thing is, I went out and I bought a snow machine that was like $400 or something, and I didn't even have to use it, which was a blessing.
So tell us what we can expect this year that'll be fun and new that we haven't seen in the past.
Yeah, so we have a lot of new exhibitors that are coming. We have up to 52. We're trying to squeeze in a couple more. We have tons of fun food venues. We have Apple Ice is going to bring down a food truck. Bronze is bringing a food truck. So we have like 4 or 5 food trucks coming. We have, of course, the Girl Scout cookies. So make sure everybody goes and buys at least one box. We have Matchbook Distillery there. We have Saltbird Cellars, McCall's. We have so about 7 or 8 different local vineyards and breweries that are going to be there. We have some fun jewelry that's going to be there. Touchstone by Swarovski and Cage and Beach and Willow jewelry. Some things that we've had in the past that are going to be back. We have Taps and Cork that's going to be hosting the Roth and Furman Band. We have 5 live bands, which is new. We usually have like 3. Yes, we have 5.
Where will they be?
Good questions. We have 2 that are going to be down by IGA at the gazebo. So we have Gunk down there, and we have Greg Humphreys and friends down there. We have, like I said, somebody over at Taps and Corks, and then we have the Eastern Long Island Old Time Jam Band. They're going to be playing over at the Southold Historical Museum. So the Historical Museum is going to be really active this time. They're going to have their little schoolhouse opened, their main building open. They're going to do the free tours like usual, but they have some fun hot drinks and some snacks and crafting for kids, and then the band. So definitely make sure to stop over there. That's new.
So for someone that hasn't come, I just want to take a step back, right?
Yep.
It is basically a Southold Main Street wide event, right?
Yeah.
That starts at one corner, goes to the other, and in between, obviously there are other the stores and restaurants that pre-exist, but the entire street and the surrounding areas are going to be filled with all of these different vendors and food trucks and music that you're talking about, right?
Yeah, so it's really kind of a stroll through Southold town and see all of the great that the town has to offer. And it's not just Southold town, we're, inclusive of all of Southold town, which encompasses Cutchogue and Mattituck. We try to pull in Greenport and Orient and East Marion. So it's really the whole community coming together under the Southold umbrella.
Location is just Southold.
Yeah, the location is just Southold, and it's just terrific. And you pop in and out of all the local shops, and those that are participating are handing out free samples or doing fun things. Party Animal is going to be giving out cotton candy. They have like a fun little photo section to take a quick snapshot. The library is doing a craft, and they have their big movable library. It's the sled, so you'll see that out in the streets. We're actually closing the roads down for the event, so it's going to be safe and really kind of a patron like area that's good, safe for everyone and families to kind of just meander through the streets.
So I want to ask about the sled because sorry, Tracy. I've seen the library bus, but you mentioned sled, so I want to hear more about that.
Well, it's called the sled, but it is the bus.
Okay. I just thought there was something different. Okay, I love the bus. It's great because it has so much in it, and the kids can play and run around. So perfect.
We have, of course, ice carving that's going to be huge, done and all supported by Apple Ice, and they're bringing in their food truck. So that's over by the Annex building, kind of like in the middle of where this event is taking place. So definitely make sure you're stopping by there. And some new things, we have a huge snow globe that's sponsored by IGA. So it's going to be a large snow globe. You can walk in it. There's going to be some snow crawling and a great photo opportunity there.
And is that over down by the IGA parking lot?
It's going to be down at the gazebo area.
At the gazebo. Okay. So in terms of parking, you can park at the IGA behind the library. Where else do you suggest people park? Because I know the main road is actually closed.
Sure. So parking is going to be behind the Annex building, which is where you go for the building department questions, and then also behind where you go to get, your beach passes over at the Annex building. There's lots of parking behind there. There's parking behind on Travelers Street, tons of parking over there as well.
Okay.
What are the hours of the WinterFest?
So the WinterFest is February 8th, and the snow date, which if it snows, I'm having this, so it has to be a blizzard. It's 10 to 3.
10 to 3. Okay. And I think, as Tracy mentioned earlier, it really does feel like a Hallmark movie. So I would recommend people, and it is family friendly, obviously, right? So you leave enough time to be able to browse and wander. And obviously it's a shopping experience, but it's also a sensory feel, touch, and enjoy community kind of experience as well.
Oh, for sure. The church is bringing back their very popular baked potato bar. There's going to be s'mores up there with a visit from Olaf, the Hoodoo Loungers, Lady T, and they're going to have a sand craft for kids up there too. So really what we've done is we've tried to make it so that throughout the whole day there's for everyone to do and a place to get warmed up, maybe have a beverage. try a little sample bite of something. So it's really going to be a day that you can enjoy from start to finish.
And so people coming from the West, where does it start?
It starts over by Nicolette's, Michelangelo's, and First Presbyterian Church.
And it goes to the gazebo?
It continues on past the gazebo. Do not forget to go to NOFO Roco for a free chai sample, and also to the Country Corner Cafe for your free scoop of ice cream. It's never too much for ice cream.
Yes.
So I have to give a shout out. I've been watching your Facebook page. I'm loving the little videos and the snippets from all the local business people on what they'll be offering, either for sale or I know there's a lot of freebies and samples and stuff. I think it's so wonderful to see so many people get involved.
Oh yeah, it's just so much fun, and everybody has a good time with the videos, and it's a great way to just kind of highlight everybody that's participating.
And so how did you get involved, Jen? Tell us a little bit about your part in it.
So I own East End Pool King. I'm a local dog, and I found myself sitting on the Economics Development Committee. And we were tasked with, a whole plethora of things from the comp plan on how to kind of make this area thrive and be able to sustain change while keeping, what we love about the area. So that's how we spearheaded it. We were like, it's quiet. Let's try to help businesses in the winter. It's very seasonal out here. So we were trying to make sure that we brought some traffic in the quiet time.
Now, last year, Cast had a whole bunch of activities going on their property, which is on that same strip. What do they also have stuff going on this year as part of the event?
I'm so glad you brought up Cast. Cast is just a great partner in this event. They just bring everything to the table for this day for everyone. What they have at 10 o'clock, and don't miss it, so be early, be on time. They have break dancing from the New York City Enthusiast Entertainment at 10, and then it's going to start in the street, go inside. They'll have the cupcake decorating at 11. And then at 1:30, they're going to do their light bites out of their fantastic culinary division. And then they're going to have a wood carver outside on their green, carving up something fabulous. Stay tuned. We'll have to see what comes out of the carving. We also have another wood carver that's going to be down at the gazebo too. So I think wood carving is our theme.
Very cool. I'm excited to see that because I know the ice carving last year was a really big draw for people. So this sounds incredible.
Oh yeah, the ice carving is probably one of the most popular parts of the event, and 'tis the season. So we'll have a couple sculptures down at the gazebo, and then they'll be stationed right on the road by the annex building, and they'll have the food truck and they'll have some music there too.
So last year, I don't know if it was the first or second year, maybe, but last year Tracy and I set up a NOFO Live table, which ended up being near the ice sculptures, which was great, and we loved it, right? The only complaint, if I have any, is that there's so much going on, and I want to be at the NOFO Live table, but the gazebo is all the way at the other end. I want to be there. I want to be by a chair. I want to be here. So I think there's a lot to see and do, and it is possible for two different people to have two different experiences because there's so much to see, and you would miss, if you were on this side of the street, miss everything on this side of the street.
There is so much to do. I know. So dress just here all day. Just stroll up and down. Also, we're going to be doing a flyer. So I'm working on the flyer now. We're going to be putting it in the Suffolk Times, so everybody will know ahead of time where things are happening. I'm trying to make it so that everybody knows what's happening at what times. There's going to be a little roadmap, a list of all the vendors and exhibitors, and then of course a list of who's doing what throughout the day. So look for that in the Suffolk Times, and then of course we'll post it on our WinterFest page.
I see, Mickey. Sorry, go ahead, Tracy.
A tip to moms and dads, because it is very kid friendly, but bring your wagon.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, because it's cold, so your kid's going to need like an extra blanket, and that way you can continue to enjoy yourself after they've kind of pooped out.
Yeah, for sure.
and it is cute photo moment for sure. I know Tilly was there last year, and we have so many adorable pictures. And this year, now that she's another year older, I think we're Tracy, you and I are just going to have to take turns being at the NOFO Live table, and also, watching the whole thing with her and through her eyes. I want to go back to the food a little bit because I see Vicky on here from Latin Fusion, and I know last year they set up a station outside the restaurant, and I believe this year, don't quote me, but I think she's going to be handing out samples of her chicken tortilla soup again, which is such a nice warm party. But there will be a lot of food and samplings and food trucks you mentioned.
Oh yeah, tons of food samplings. Latin Fusion is fantastic. Of course, they're doing the chicken tortilla soup, and they're also doing, I think, a corn cake. So that'll be a lot of fun. Southold General is going to do tomato disc, and Ronnie's is doing their infamous chocolate mousse with the toasted marshmallow on top. So we have a lot of people.
Oh, I just lost her.
Your voice is cutting out, Jen. And you mentioned food truck, and you mentioned bronze, so there'll be a seafood truck.
Yes, there's going to be a seafood truck. They took it out of winterization just for the event, so we're really thrilled to have them there. We have Nana's, which is a pasta truck. It's going to be sponsored by Apple Ice. We have one with some sweet treats. It's going to be down closer to the gazebo area, and I know I'm missing one. It's like a Brazilian theme one, so it'll be a lot of fun. You'll have to find them. They'll be scattered throughout the area.
As an event producer, I know how much work goes into this. So bravo to you.
Thank you.
And your team. When did you start planning it? When do you start planning it each year?
Usually we start planning in October, and we start putting the schedule together and start, asking for some town support and getting together with like the big powers that be, the library, the church, cast. And then now we have Darren over at the museum, the historical museum. So it's a great team. It's a lot of fun putting it together.
How many people are on your team? How many people are helping put this together?
So on the economic development committee, we have a team of, I think it's about 6. And then, we bring in those other supporters. So that's great. I don't know how many people are on their teams, but it's a small team doing a pretty big event.
Talk a little bit about the Economic Development Committee itself. What does it comprise of? And are you looking for more involvement from other local business owners? What is the organization about?
So the Economic Development Committee is part of the town of Southold, and I think it's about probably 7 members on it right now. Brian Smith and Lucine, and we have Greg Dorosky's on it with us. I'm missing a couple of people because I'm a little caught off guard. Sorry. But really what we're doing right now is putting together an initiative for 2025 on a couple of different areas that we want to start really focusing on, highlighting for the local community. One is looking at maybe doing some sort of like large directories on the town website so that it's highlighting all of the local businesses and making a really great resource for people that are in the community and also coming to the community to have someone that they can call if they need something, no matter what it is. Anywhere from, I need to go buy party favors, or I need to call a plumber. But we're, I think, lacking that kind of resource. And from that resource, we can really kind of utilize it in other areas. So if we want to do internship programs, that's a good place because we can reach out to all of the businesses that way. So that's going to be something really big that the Economic Development Committee is looking at, because we think that it can really branch out and be helpful in a lot of different avenues.
Sunita's antenna just went up because we're always looking for an intern for NOFO Live.
That's terrific. Yeah. We'll definitely talk offline about
it. They were looking for one. We haven't really done anything to ask for one out there other than randomly bring it up.
That's where you start, right? The idea. And from there, you just have success. So we'll talk offline.
We're definitely at a point where we could expand our team. So if anybody's interested, definitely reach out.
Oh, that's perfect.
Last year, and again, based on where we were, what we were able to see, I know you had a whole bunch of raffles and things like that. Are you still planning on that this year? And talk a little bit about that part of it, because there might be people interested in that.
Yeah, so Satnick is always doing a raffle over down gazebo, and the Rotary is huge with a raffle, and they're always giving out some nice hot treat to warm you up. So I would definitely look for those. The Economics Development Committee is always doing the raffles. What we do is we go around to the town, and people that maybe have donations that they can put into the basket and be supportive that way. This it kind of highlights their business in another fashion. So we have, I think it's like 6 gift baskets that we're giving out this year. Lots and lots of favors in each one of them. Sharon put them together, and it took about 2 weeks to gather it all together, and they're ready to go. So the raffle is free. So all you have to do is come down to one of the WinterFest booths. We're having 2 this year. One will be down at the gazebo, and it's really a good place to start, right? Because you can get the flyer there, you get a sticker, it gives you the raffle ticket, and then you can see up in the parking lot with the DJ. And I think you guys are up at the parking lot with me. You can come up there, see the raffles, what's in the baskets, and then decide which one might work for you. There's a 2:30 drawing up by the DJ, and you do have to be present to win.
Okay, that's great.
That's an important point to note, people.
Yeah.
If you are the kind of person that enjoys raffles, then make sure you time your visit or how you end up at the parking lot around that time, because you could come early, stop for lunch, because yes, the restaurants, like we mentioned, Latin Fusion will be offering samples, but the restaurants are all open as well for lunch and late breakfast or whatever.
So the event planner in me has another question. Sure. Bathrooms.
That's a great question. So, a lot of the local restaurants have the bathrooms that are available. We also have 2 porta potties that are donated to us, and one will be in the DJ parking lot area up across the street from the library, and then there will be one down by the gazebo, just tucked behind the annex, behind the town building over there. So there's 2 bathrooms there, and the library is always super nice and generous, letting us warm up and go to the bathroom there.
That's good because and the mamas that are now potty trained kids, we need to know everywhere they are.
Right. Right. Next year, I should definitely figure out a way to highlight them a little bit better.
And like if we could have an app that says how long the wait is on each one.
Okay, now you're pushing it. I mean, we're talking about small town USA. I think I could, not that I want to single out Touchwoods, but I think we could run into Touch Goods and go, can I? And Noreen may say yes.
Yeah, Noreen will be great, I'm sure. The mom is definitely coming out.
I'm sure Tilly's face can get us in anywhere, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yes. And I just also wanted to say, from a traffic perspective, whether you're coming to the event or you just happen to be driving in that area, that entire street, Main Street, is closed. So there will be a detour. So plan accordingly. So you're, not trying to get to anything on that main strip.
Yeah, it's really just getting shut down from, I think it's Hortons over to Young. So it's not a huge strip. It's not going to be like super inconvenient. There's certainly a workaround for it. But yes, you're right. It will be closed.
Yeah, I suggest people to come on Sound and then come down so that you could hit the parking lots back there and find a spot to park.
Yeah.
Which leave time for that, because that was kind of hard to find parking.
Was it? We'll get some more signs. We have a sign committee for the parking.
Well, no, hard to find parking because so many people are coming, and it's steadily become popular. I remember the first year. I think it only really beautifully snowed last year. Like I think the first year was, but none of the years have been bad weather. They've been winter weather, but good. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that we get good winter weather for this event.
I know. I'm conflicted. I don't know if I want it to be like 40 degrees and then I'm like, ooh, the ice will melt, or do I want it to be like 30 and snowing? I don't know which way to go.
I'm definitely voting for snowing.
Okay.
I'm voting for snowing. That was just so perfect.
Well, I want to give a shout out to the ice sculptures, though. I must say, I mean, every year, I don't know that they've gotten better, but I mean, I know last year there was like, one year there was Olaf, then there was like Superman or Spider-Man. It's so intricate, like with like a chainsaw in this big block of ice. It's definitely something everybody should stop and look at because they're beautiful.
Yeah, they're so talented. Apple Ice has an amazing team behind them, and they just really do a great job for us. It's a lot of fun.
So, Jen, before we end the show, we'll just go through our NOFO Live 5. If you were going to choose to take Sunita and I out to lunch or dinner, where would you take us?
Oh my gosh, that's such a tough one. So the Mediterranean restaurant is a new fun favorite for me. Lag Fusion, I have to say, I dream and salivate about their chili with the steak in it. It is amazing.
Oh,
Um,
good.
I just ate their veggie chili recently and I enjoyed that very much.
yeah,
I will say it's a little spicy for anybody that's not ready for that, but it was delicious.
so good. And then Founders has an amazing BLT. It's off the
Oh,
hook. So those would be my top three, probably just for like a quick bite.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you mentioned you're a local here. So sunrise or sunset, what do you catch and where?
Uh, I am a mama of a 2.5 and 5, and I own this business that, even though a lot of people think is seasonal, is not. It's year round. So I never get to see the sun rise. And the sunset is if I'm lucky enough to be driving past Sound Beach from like Orient to my office or something, checking on a job.
That's a great location to catch it because you
Yeah.
can catch it all year long.
Yeah.
That's actually a great thing about the North Fork is that we can catch the sunset while we're doing our business,
Right.
which is great.
Right.
Yeah.
And so many people pull over, take the quick picture, get back in the car,
Yep.
keep going where you're going.
Yep.
It's perfect. Whether it's at a farm, you know. Okay. Cocktail, mocktail, brewery, vineyard, where might we find you on your downtime?
Oh, well, my new drink of choice is a lemon drop martini for sure. And I have to say that Nicole Founders, she's A on her game. And then also the bourbon sangria over at Amano and Allure can't be beat.
I like when people give very specific answers. That's very. What about farm stands? When you're heading home from work, where do you hit your farm stands? What do you get?
They're also great. And you know what? It's so bad. I don't know. The one that I think across the street from McCall's, right? They do that burger night. There's a little tiny farm stand over there. They have the biggest heads of lettuce and all the most amazing, fresh, huge vegetables.
Is that
So
Volvac or is that little
No.
past that?
I
It's
don't
past
think it's.
Volvac.
I don't know what it's called, and I really feel terrible that I don't. But it's
No, don't feel.
must
Those are my
go.
favorite. Those are my favorite because
Yeah.
that's what I love about the North Fork is that it's dotted with large farms, but dotted with these little gardeners that are at home that are growing, and you know it's grown in the backyard because that's all they
Yeah.
have. They only have zucchini or they only have
Yeah.
cabbage or whatever they grew.
Right. You have to look for it. It's on the way going west. It's on the right hand side, and I think it's over by the McCall's one. So what is that? Is that more like Laurel-y, Mattatucky?
Yeah. I think it's just the beginning of Cutchug, like coming from the west. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
next time I'm driving past, I'm definitely keeping my eyes open. As soon as I see the barn for McCall's on the left, I'm looking on the right for this farm stand.
I think so. What's your favorite?
Ooh. Ooh, I have a lady. I have two ladies. I have a Greek lady, and I know she's Greek because she puts a Greek flag out. That is actually in Southold between Sangley and Hortons on the right-hand side.
Okay.
I mean, no name to the stand. And then on Hortons itself, now I'm giving out all my secrets. On Hortons itself, between, I was going to say Eric's, but Eric's doesn't exist anymore. Between
Little Fish?
no.
Oh.
Hortons where
Hortons. Oh.
yeah. It's
Eric.
the
That's the catered fork.
yes, the Catered Fork and Main Street. There's a little farm stand on the right.
Oh, yes.
She has flowers
Yeah.
and she has cheesecake pumpkins and again everything that's seasonal, jalapenos. And I feel sometimes I've watched her in October, November, whatever. She physically picks up the stand and puts it away. And one time I was driving past it, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh!" But I can't wait for it to come back in spring, you know. So those are my two go-tos because I like little farm
Well,
stands.
out in Orient, is it
Yeah.
Latham that has the stand? They have the best dahlias ever. I bought my whole office the dahlias, and it was the last day of the dahlias for them.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's a great farm stand.
My two favorites are Jen's, which I don't think a lot of people know. It's Jen Reeve, and it's over by on the docks in Aquabog.
Oh, nice.
She has amazing cauliflower that is the size of my head in all three colors and really great stuff. And then Goodale Farms. I cannot live without their pickles and their goat cheese.
Ooh.
Both really good things.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
They look very cute every time I pass there because I only see that farm when I'm going to Riverhead or doing something because it's not, but it always looks really cute. And I know you always talk about that. I need to make an effort to go in
I
there.
actually order you can order their stuff online, and I order their pickles so that I'm
Oh no,
never
I want
without.
to go because they have the goats right there.
Yes.
I want to see the
Yes.
goats. Like
It is really fun. It is really fun. Yeah.
so great. What a good time.
Well,
We need to do a trail of all of the farm stands so that people can stamp them off.
well, that's an intern job. So one of the jobs we're going to give our intern is to go back through every video and categorize and write down everybody's answers to all these questions so that then we could make a guide to the restaurants and the farm stands and what to get at what farm stand. And so if you're interested,
what to get at what farm stand is the real secret here,
Yes.
right? Because it sounds like my cauliflower needs to come from the one you're describing,
Yeah.
and the cabbage needs to come from the one that Jen is describing,
Yeah.
and the dahlias need to come from Lathan. So I feel like this is like a 5-hour process for me to buy my groceries before I get home.
Yes. Yes. I know. Well, Jen, thank you so much for, being a part of the North Fork community in such a way where you're creating a space for everybody to truly enjoy what the North Fork has to offer. Tell us why you love doing what you do.
I just love being surrounded by a family of community. So for me, family is always family, but when you're walking into a store and you're saying hello to everyone, and if you need something that at the last minute and you can reach out and then you can return, that's what it's all about to me. So community is just, and you have to build it and you have to work at it, and then it just comes back tenfold.
Well, I got to give props to you, Jen, because ever since I've met you, I've watched you be part of the community and give to so many different things. You are very active in CAST. You are active in the web. Obviously, you have your own business, and now you're on this. Not now, but you've been on this economic development committee. So you're really giving a lot to the community, and I thank you for that. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next Friday. And join us next Saturday at the Winterfest.
Yes.
And
come say hi.
send snowflakes. Yeah. And if there aren't any, Tracy's bringing her own snowflakes to add to the thing. So that's our plan. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Friday.
Bye.
Bye.